All right, all right. What's up, guys? Phil Nagy on Sports joining you here. It is, as we promised, I'm going to be building all three of the options that you are voting on. We will not find out just yet which one will get simmed, but again, I am going to simulate the year offline regardless. So it's time to quickly look at option number one. Again, option number one, for those who don't remember, was essentially running it back with most of the same players, just a couple of changes. Go get Kirk Cousins to run Stefanski's offense again. I'll tell you what I did in the draft here in a minute when we get to that player that we selected. But here is what the roster looks like, essentially running it back. So this was, hey, we had a pretty good roster, just got thwarted by injuries and bad quarterback play, so let's go get our guy, pay him on the cheap, in this case with Kirk Cousins, and see where we're at. So as you can see, number 18 coming in at an 84. Again, that 89 awareness compared to Deshaun Watson at 55 is worth every penny at this juncture. Deshaun is still on the roster, as we talked about, and decided to draft Jackson Dart. Took him in the, I believe, third round. We did. He's a 71 overall coming in. Good chance to get some reps and potentially be the QB of the future after this year. Of course, that's what that plan would look like. In the running back room, whoops, that's the wrong button, Phil. In the running back room, Nick Chubb comes back. We drafted Travion Henderson. Sorry, no offense, Travion. I know you wear number 32, but I'm not giving you Jim Brown's number. So he'll be wearing 31. He comes into the game as a 77, including that 93 agility with that 88 change of direction. Chubb has stayed at a 93 and looks to still be an X factor. I used some of Kevin Stefanski's points to regress the running back ratings for 1 year. So at 29 years young, we'll see what he can still do. I did re-sign him to a 1-year deal. No fullbacks on the roster. Wide receiver room maybe ends up needing a little help. Did not re-sign Elijah Moore. I think Jerry Jeudy's better than 83, but that's where his season ended him. Cedric Tillman comes in at a 79. Drafted Xavier Restrepo from the University of Miami, or the U, if you will. He comes into 73, and then you have Jamari Thrash and David Bell, two other young receivers on the practice squad that I will show you when we get to that one. Pretty excited about this one. All of the Chief, I was able to get Tyler Warren in the second round. They're very, very talented. Look what he starts at an 81. Just so talented. The Penn State tight end, 6'6", 257. He and the Chief back to Stefanski's offense. Pretty excited about that opportunity. Speaking of the draft, we did use our first pick on the best left tackle in the game. You can see it's Will Campbell, 6'6", 320 from LSU. He comes in at a 79 overall with that 96 strength down there. Pretty good looking prospect. So we had the number 2 pick, as you know. Raiders really wanted Shador, so they came up and took it for us for 2. And we moved back to 4 and felt really good about taking the best offensive lineman in the game. Keeping Dwan at the right tackle side for now. As you can see, there are no backups on the roster for Campbell. Conklin is still. Batonio stays. He's still an 84. He's going to run it back again. Posick got subbed over to be the backup guard. He regressed hard. I was able to sign Connor Williams, 7th-year free agent out of Texas. He'll come in as an 80 with a healthy Whippler backing him up. Wyatt Teller stays at an 85. Zinter up to an 83 is his backup. Hopefully to be the heir apparent for one of the 2 guards here shortly. DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin, there they are at 82 and 81. So Conklin will be the swing tackle and the backup as needed. Defensive side of the football, because we went heavy on the offense in terms of Travion Henderson, Will Campbell, Tyler Warren, Jackson Dart. Defensive side of the ball didn't quite get as much. Went out and made a trade last year of his deal for Kwity Paye. Was a first-round draft pick out of Michigan, maybe a little bit of an underachiever. You can see there he is at a 79 from the Colts. Isaiah McGuire takes another step. He is a 73, and then signed also a former first-round pick from the Saints, Peyton Turner, who they had cut. So some potential to pop in that room. Myles Garrett stays. He's at a 97. Alex Wright up to a 69. There's Mike Hall Jr. off his injury, 82 for him. Tomlinson stays. He's at an 80. Maurice Hurst re-signs with us. And then got Shamar Turner, rookie out of Texas A&M. This kid was a big 5-star prospect when Texas A&M was buying all of their 5-stars back in the day. So I'm excited about his potential future in that room as well. Diabate up to a 79. He was really one of the bright spots of our last season sim, and he will start as the starting left outside linebacker. Buki Watson up to a 73. Middle linebacker room, you can see Jordan Hicks was at a 74. Didn't feel like that was strong enough for us, so the Cleveland kid comes home. The free agent from Ohio State, Jerome Baker. He'll anchor the middle of our defense. You can see he's a 90 overall speed, which we really like, and a really nice scheme fit in the middle of the Jim Schwartz defense for us. Again, went to high school in Cleveland, played at Ohio State, of course, and then Winston Reed rounds out that room. JOK comes back. We can do it in our game. Gosh, I hope he comes back in real life. And Khalil Hudson comes to back him up again, just another speedy linebacker depth piece, and he was on the roster last year. Cornerback room very much unchanged right now. Went back and forth on whether to change Newsome, but again, under these rules of option number 1, and pretty much running it back. So he will come back for his 5th year. Ward at a 94, Newsome still at an 85, MJ at a 78, hoping for a bounce back year. Cam Mitchell up to a 73. Dallas Flowers was on our practice squad last year, but he makes the roster. And then Aiden White, a rookie out of NC State, coming in at a 67 on the roster. Decided to trade Thornhill. I'd seen enough, so we went with another scheme fit, very similarly rated player. That's Jordan Fuller, former captain for the Los Angeles Rams. And hopefully this is not a John Johnson III situation where he played well for the Rams and came and stunk for us. But another Ohio State guy, I like to get those guys. In the draft, we were also able to pick up Jeremiah Cooper, which is funny because when we get to the Buckeye offseason, he stays in the game in college football, and we actually get him as a transfer portal player to Ohio State, which is kind of funny. And Rocket Hickman remains at a 70. Also, Grant Delpit stays. He's up to an 87, and undrafted rookie free agent Lathan Ransom. I like my Buckeyes. He's probably not going to see much time at all. At kicker, I went with the best. He didn't get drafted, but he's the best kicker in the game. Look, coming out of the draft class, Andres Borregales, undrafted rookie free agent. He's a 77. You can see coming in with 84 power and 87 accuracy, and he was already 5 points higher than what Dustin Hopkins had gone to. So I just cut him. Sorry, Dustin. And Bajorquez stays as well. Here is the practice squad, as I told you about. Looks like they signed a 6'8", 235-pound punter for us. Juwan Briggs is on there. There's Royals, one of the freshman rookie running receivers I was telling you about. He's a 93 in agility. Keandre Lambert-Smith, former Michigan State, then transferred to Auburn player. Savion Williams, a rookie out of TCU. These are all guys that just the game signed for me, apparently. Dorian Singer, Emmanuel Wilson, who played with the Packers. Xavier Truss is a guy drafted in the 7th round, and he played pretty much every position for Georgia this year. Stukes, Halasi, and Van Fillinger, if that's even a real person. All right, so that's what the Browns roster looks like right now. Just again, because I know that people care about these kinds of things, I'll very quickly kind of show you where the rest of the quarterbacks ended up, especially the ones that moved. So Jackson, Mahomes, Allen, these guys, of course, are all staying. And this is where they ended up, by the way, in their ratings. How about Jaden Daniels up to an 88? Goff, Herbert, Love. Dak comes back. There's where Cousins slots in. There's Caleb Williams. There's Mayfield. Bo Nix up to an 82. There's Drake May. Aaron Rodgers stays with the Jets. He'll be started at 81. There's Trevor Lawrence. Murray. Darnold's going to sign with the Saints. They decided to get rid of Derek Carr or go on from Derek Carr, and he'll come into the Saints at an 81. Penix at a 79 will start in Atlanta. Bryce Young. Justin Fields is the backup to Pat Mahomes. Interesting choice there. Again, the game signed it, not me. Geno Smith at a 76. Danny Dimes. I think they are going to roll it back with him, which seems crazy because they cut him in real life. Jameis Winston, your backup for Dak. Stafford in L.A. Quinn Ewers is who they drafted in New York to back up. Aaron Rodgers, we'll see how quickly he plays. Anthony Richardson. There's J.J. McCarthy. He will be starting. There's Shadur Sanders. Comes into the game at a 73. He'll be starting for the Raiders. There's Cam Ward. He was drafted by the Titans, also coming into at a 73. So, again, our guy was a 79, and we had a rookie who was an 81 and an 87. So we got 3 guys higher than either of these quarterbacks, which is partly the reason that I am not in on either of those quarterbacks. Minshew there still. Derek Carr still. Carson Beck got drafted by the Steelers. Dylan Gabriel got drafted by the Seahawks, so the heir apparents in both of those places. There's Deshaun. Will Howard to the Bills. That's a nice spot for him. He's got some Josh Allen in his game. We talked about Jackson Dart. Jalen Milroe to the Cardinals. Interesting. He's also a little bit of the Kyler Murray mold. There's Drew Aller. These are also, by the way, their overall ratings you see as they come in. There's Mac Jones. And now we're pretty much to guys. Oh, Russell Wilson has regressed to a 69, so it's going to be Carson Beck's team in Pittsburgh. Crazy to think about. All right, I think that's it for the starting quarterback. So there's Riley Leonard. He came in at 65. There's Joe Milton. We talked about the powerful arm. Trubisky. I'm trying to see if there's Brady Cook from Missouri. If there's any other rookies. Curtis Rourke from Indiana, also drafted by the Steelers. Kyle McCord to the Packers. He came out of the box as a 60. And that is it for the guys who made the rosters. So, all right, man. Appreciate you guys very much. As again, I told you this is what it would look like. So we are about ready to start the season if you should choose to vote on option 1. This is what it looks like. Appreciate everybody joining me. Thanks, guys, so much. Thanks to all of our subscribers. You guys are the best. Appreciate you very much. Today we will say, as always, go Browns!